Welcome back. This is video 2. I'm Mark Mallard.
I'm James Watson. Obviously the first video was sort of well received, so we've gone and done a second and we'll continue where we left from, but thanks to Fego Car Loans for making this happen.
They're the title sponsor of 2K Cup this year. We actually have a sponsor, which is nice.
Yeah, and we're actually doing some media content for once, so thanks to them, and we'll kick off with the rest of this video. The Midship Express. I haven't heard it called that before, but
The Midship Express. Do you know this is the most want-to-be driven 2K Cup car by everyone wants to have a go on one. Most are scared, as you can see, while
they market it spinning out.
Advertising. We're going to spin.
The dreams of
This
our
one,
Formula
you
One
don't see it coming,
engineers
right?
find their way into
F1
every
car,
car
Honda
we
Civic.
make.
Oh!
You'll
A
feel
lot
the
of controversy
benefits,
around Honda
no
Civics
matter
right
what
now.
Honda you drive.
Look at it. 5 kilometers an hour.
The 4-door 2, Jason Ward, you'll be proud of it.
And an F1 engine to top it off.
It's very quick. Yeah.
Here we've got race 3. This is from Matt Smith. Now this was a fantastic race. I think he went from, was it 26th or 23rd to 1st.
Oh, 3 wide. Oh, he's bought into that, and look at the... Yep, see, now he's on the other side of that jump curb.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that far over, but yep, that's
And now if he had hit that curb, it would have bumped him
into the car outside.
Yeah. So he's done good, and he's got another pass. It was just a passing machine.
He's been
race.
from season 1. I think that car's nearly done every round, or pretty close to every round in the 2K Cup. Father and son team. They've had a few adventures in it with blow-in stuff and things like that. But we were commentating this on as Nigel. You know, what's Nigel done after race 1? He's going so well. And then Nigel showed up in the commentary box and told us it was his son in the car, and that was with the alteration he'd done. It was changed the nut and the wheel in the driver's seat, and that nut was a bit tighter because there was huge problems with horsepower when Nigel was driving it, apparently. It didn't handle, all these things.
Yeah.
They changed absolutely nothing. Matt got in it and won the race.
But he definitely looked in sync with the car. I mean, this is the interesting part here.
This is the pass for the lead.
Yeah, and you know it's for the lead the way he's trying to hold. Look at him in the middle of the track.
The MX-5 looks fun to drive too, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. So you think, oh yeah, Matt's got past him, he washed out. No, the MX-5 is going to push him as wide as he can.
Oh, yep.
That is defensive driving, and then
But he's
some.
held his line.
But Matt pulled out and thought,
Yep.
I'll go wide for the corner, I'll get a run on the next corner. Some
Yep.
some smart driving, really.
Yep. I was watching this one live on
And I like how the MX-5 is indicating that he's going to block him. Like, he's not doing it last moment.
Well, it's
He's
not a
like-
block, it's a defensive drive.
I mean, that's what I mean, defensive driving.
Because blocking has a bad connotation.
Yeah. Hey, he's showing Matt, I'm going to hold the inside line at every corner, you're not going to go up the inside. And Matt said, well, I'll just go around the outside.
Around the outside goes, the trailer park boys go around the outside.
And what you can
And
see...
he buys into it. The MX-5 buys into this nicely.
Yeah, but you can see in his mirror there he comes. And he's going to push him wide again.
What a battle. I thought this race here, the MX-5, we had some problems last year with we had a couple of problems in some races. New guys in the category, and that race there was superb. Kent Dalziel with a second, and then Trass, who won the first race, got all the way up to third. That thing's got some straight line handling in the Trass car, but
Yeah.
Dalziel had an absolute battle to get past the MX-5, and it actually, to me, to be honest, I thought the MX-5 deserved to be third there. He'd battled so well and done so well. So good driving from James, James McCann.
Yeah, Matt Smith winning it out.
Winner. And his first Dunlop hat.
First Dunlop hat.
5 years in for his first Dunlop hat.
Yeah. And looking at his driving, it definitely shows he's done 5 seasons.
Dad just slower than son. That's what it told us too. And yeah, it just shows you the best cheat you can do on 2K Cup. And it says Nigel Smith.
And in typical fashion, David Trask gets faster every race, it seems. He's not a quick qualifier, but he just kind of ramps up to the
He
weekend.
seems to get behind others and learn their lines and get quicker through the other sectors, and then just, does well. Marco Tang drove well there in the 505. Skippy in his new car did well. Ash Greer, he'd be happy to finish a race after the problems he'd had for the last little while with cars. Roger Johnston there, he's trying to get quicker and quicker in his thing. It's just such a good race, that second race. It's probably my most enjoyable race. Dale Keeley, he told me a good story. I was talking to him on the phone, and he was telling me he had just an absolute ball racing. He had no horsepower, he had problems, he couldn't rev his engine. He was getting passed by a Toyota Corona up the straight every lap after he'd passed him through the corners. But he had an absolute ball, and he had to say he'd never been in the slow race, but he thought the driver standards in it was just impressive, and they pushed really hard. And everyone races in 2K Cup. And we had one DNF in that race. So it just shows you, once you've got your car to be able to finish a 2K Cup race, normally it can finish quite a few.
Yeah, and just a shout out for Alex, my sister. She's done 1:33 there on the lap time, but her best sector was 1:31 when you add them together. So she started the weekend, first ever racing weekend, she started doing 1:46s in qualifying. Then the first race got down to 1:33, I think it was, and then an effective 1:31 for that second race. So that's some progression. I wouldn't mind taking 15 seconds off my best lap time for the start of the weekend.
I think I could be in a GT3 car if I did that. I go racing GT3s if I could get the Levin, take 15 seconds off. But that's it. It's all about tightening the nut in the seat, and track days and other things, and then getting a driver training next year. I know Ray Williams does a lot of things that you can get next to him, or professional driver trainer, he is a professional driver trainer.
Yeah, I think Paul Smith used Ray the day following for some driver training. 0.7. So you've raced the whole day. You've raced with people that are just
and for
quick.
5 years. He's done every single 2K Cup race ever.
It would seem all he needed to do was have someone one-to-one
tell
him, this is what you need to do.
Open up this corner.
0.7 in the middle of the field's the difference, 20 cars, 25 cars.
He's now worried about barbecue car being pushed into sausage car. That's the truth. That's what he said to me. I'm now worried about sausage car.
So here we go. This is the final race of the weekend. Like the previous race, it's a reverse grid staggered start. We sort of didn't go over that, but basically it's the quickest lap time, or you take your best lap time from the first race, flip the field by lap time, and then chuck some 10 seconds gaps for every 10 cars.
Yeah, it got a bit hard. We thought it was going to get really hard. We wanted to do it on second gaps, but it just became really awkward with number of cars on grids, because it was like 13, and then we were like, how do we split it halfway through on a grid and stuff like that? And because we are limited to 46 cars, because there's no more paint on the track, we can't move someone and go, oh, you just row back and things like that.
So fourth race, John Jelly, start of the race.
Oh, this is Jelly.
Yeah.
Now, so Jelly got into Levin. He raced season 1, race 1, I think. Raced a little bit then. Came back into a few races in Levin in the Jamex Empire a couple of years ago. Was one of the top drivers leading the championship at one point. Then missed the last couple of rounds. Then back this year, bought his own car, so it's all his. I gave him the secret of how to get off the line, got into Levin.
You'll watch his start, and it is, I mean, it's balls to the wall.
He hit it exactly like I told him.
So, here we go.
This is how you do a 2K Cup start from the back of the field.
He started 40th place, I think.
Just in front of you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You're about 43rd or something.
Yeah. And he threads the needle here. Starts going through the middle.
And now that's the pass there. That's really, if you lifted there, he probably doesn't make many spots, but he's keeping going past that.
So he's already made like 4 spots, and
and he's up under Jamie Anderson's tail right there, Dave Barrett on the inside, and goes to the inside here. See you later, Jamie, because you'll never outbrake a Levin into 2 in that heavy BMW.
Yeah, so now he's down into 35th, 34th-ish.
And he's got Bonovich in front of him here. I think that's going to be about 30th or 31st place in front of him. So he's in 33rd right now, is our guess. Because that in the 10-second groups, and Ivanovic, I think, was the first car in that group. Young Peter had to go to a school ball, so he was in a real hurry to get rid of and finish this race. Well done on your date, mate. You were betting well. Figo Car Loans, yes, well done.
So he's left quite a bit of room.
He's left room on the inside there for anyone to make a mistake, and then he's just got the power on. Peter Ivanovic has been caught tight, and the Varight car always got some good pace. But he's just dived here on the inside, and I love this move.
But he's given him the 444 the chance to come across on him, and he hasn't, so then he's taken it. So it's sort of like a bit of give and take on that pass. He's not being too aggressive, but he's being aggressive. He's being aggressive.
Let's not say he's not being aggressive.
Yeah.
Now, this is where Levin's suck.
And
bye, Dave.
That's that pretty much shows you the difference between Levin and Integra. The Integra,
And then here's Levin back on him. The space, look at the space on the outside. Bright Ride runs wide. It allows him. He's still
and you
left
look how often he checks his mirrors. Like he's constantly checking his mirrors, which is another great thing to do to keep you out of trouble. I think this I put in because this is sort of the same pass that I did on.
But he's telegraphed it there. And then good driving to give him the space, and out he goes.
And they're both giving each other room. He's checked his mirror, made sure he's not pushed him off the track or anything. And so this will probably showcase again the difference between a Levin and Integra.
Bye Chris Greeny. Bye Chris Greeny.
But he still outbreaks him here.
And you're trying so hard here.
Look, this is a 100-meter difference, and he's gone right around the outside, but it's cut the footage. But we'll show that one in the video.
Great editing, James. And this is a great move here.
It's on a Levin.
On a Levin, around the outside of Dan Bagnall. And he's that late, he can actually still get it tucked in and then get back out. That's a good pass there. Just great driving from Jelly. He's coming up now on the other greenie. I think he made it through to 6th until Chris Hughes came by him with some horsepower. So basically what this is showing you is that if you buy a Levin, don't expect that you're going to be really fast in a straight line.
Oh, and this is the finish. The MR2 on the line. I can't actually...
No, he won it. He won it by, I'm going to say it's like 0.02 or something.
Yeah.
It was like literally who's got their...
But I thought this is the best part. So it goes up the side, some crazy driver sign language. I think it's all
No,
good.
that's who won. That was who won. That was us who won, and then that rocked.
Yeah, but this is the best part right here coming up.
Get on the horn.
Get on the horn and start dancing.
Yeah, start having fun.
Yeah.
Like,
so he's out.
not enough waving though. I'm going to say
no.
not enough waving to the marshals. I'm a bit disappointed. No waving to the marshal there. A bit more waving to the marshal.
Yeah.
But we like the honk of the horn.
And this video I chucked in just because you've got, well, everyone's going for the pass here. So
Holy heck. 3 wide from Grover. Up the inside goes an Emma. Oh, it's all, everyone's biting into that. I haven't seen that one. I'm not sure who that's from. But some good driving there. That's Oscar Drummond, Braden Willis, and Grover there. So that's some good driving.
But this is a common scenario in the 2K Cup where you get clusters of cars and they're just at each other's throats going for the one position. And they sort of don't let up at all. I mean, no one there's taking a conventional racing line because they're all giving each other racing room, but they don't want to give up too much.
No.
And then that positive pass. I mean, there's 3 car widths between them when he goes for that pass.
It's good driving. Good work, Oscar.
Yeah. So he's done well.
And now he's going to try and buy into this. Now, fake to the inside, fake to the inside, fake to the inside. Oh, he didn't fake to the inside. Let him go.
He thought about it, didn't he?
Now, here's a story. I want to tell you a story. So Steve Hughes won the race. He actually had a lapped car in front of him that he thought was beating him. And that's what picked up his pace at the end of the race to keep him in front of Graham Ball for second, who had a side-by-side battle with Phil Page, Matt Rose, Chris Hughes, John Jelly there. What's the difference there? 0.02 between Jelly and Simon Rollerton with a great race in 8th. Adam Carpenter 18th. Grover was 16th there. Paul Greeny with a good result 15th. Vidvonovich 122.8. Now,
I think that's the fastest MR2 round Hampton and 2K Cup spec.
Non-LSD spec.
Yeah, non-LSD. The LSD, obviously...
I think Geddes would be closer, if not faster than that, without his LSD. I think that's only half a second or so.
Yeah. And
Geddes is in the 21s. But Peter Vidvonovich, he's won the Sanyong scholarship. He's got second in the BMW scholarship. He is a talented young driver. He's like 16 years old and done heaps of virtual racing. Speak of someone who's a virtual racer.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have a go on the Oculus after this.
But yeah, great race and great to see